I'm going to read a statement for those who are present with us. Tonight, the board met in executive session to discuss the impact of the ongoing state budget impasse on our programs, students, families, and employees. Over the next 2 weeks, individuals and programs that may be affected by a temporary layoff beginning January 2nd will be notified directly. As a courtesy to those who may be personally impacted, no public announcement will be made this evening regarding specific programs or personnel. This is a sensitive and confidential matter, and we're committed to handling it with respect and care for all involved. Thank you for your understanding and patience as we navigate through these uncharted circumstances together. We remain focused on supporting our students, staff, and community, and will provide updates as information becomes available. Thank you, Mrs. Vice President, for allowing me to read that on behalf of the board.
And may we have a moment of silence for Mr. John Pisano? Thank you. We'll go into the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll go into roll call.
Mr. Leonard. Bretz.
Here.
Bisco.
Here.
Bojalid.
Here.
Dicerock.
Here.
Fike. Humberger. Mock.
Here.
Neiman.
Here.
Rao.
Here.
Shaw.
Here.
Cedar.
Here.
Shear.
Here.
Toman.
Here.
I am sorry, I don't. Ligonier Valley, I'm sorry. Say your last name again.
Boyd.
Boyd, thank you.
Here.
Woleen.
Here.
Yurga.
Here.
Thank you. So we held informational sessions on the following dates. It would have been September 11th, October 8th, and October 16th. Next is citizen comments on agenda items. If you wish to address any item on the agenda, please pick up a 3x5 card from the counter located inside the entrance of the meeting room. Put your full name and address on this card along with the agenda item you wish to address, then submit the card to the executive director. Of the meeting. At the appropriate time, the president of the board of the directors will recognize you and state your comment. Each statement made by the participant shall be limited to 3 minutes. Commentators may not cede their time to other individuals. A spokesperson should be appointed in the case of a group presentation. The public comment session at the beginning of the meeting shall be limited to not more than 30 minutes, based on policy 903.
And I believe we have 2 cards that have been submitted.
So first one, Stacy Bojek.
And Stacy, if you just don't mind going to the podium because we have the microphone on. Yep, come on down. And then Barry, is the microphone on?
He just turned it on.
Good evening, members of the
Oh,
board.
hold on one second, Stacy. Just press the button on the very bottom.
Testing.
There you go.
There we
Thank
go.
you, Stacy.
Good evening, members of the board. As president of the WIU Education Association, I want to begin acknowledging that the state budget impasse has placed tremendous strain on schools, families, and communities across Pennsylvania. We recognize that everyone, students, parents, and staff alike, are feeling the impact. Our educators live in the same towns, pay the same bills, and share the same worries about stability and the future. We are not apart from these challenges, we are part of them. We all want the same thing, stability for students, equity for staff, and that happens when process and protections are applied equally and transparently. We thank you for your time and your commitment to fairness and accountability. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bojack. Next up.
Next, we have Terry Pajak.
Hello?
I believe it's on.
I think she turned it off.
Hello?
There you
Okay.
go.
I was expecting to speak after the business portion of the meeting. So I want to thank you because I believe tonight you're going to pass our collective bargaining agreement. And I wanted to thank the negotiating team and the administration for a fair and equitable contract. So first off, thank you for that. As president of the Teacher Assistants and Personal Care Assistants, we recognize that the budget impasse is the fault of nobody in this room other than the politicians in Harrisburg not coming together and passing our budget. As classroom assistants and PCAs, we are the helping hands and caring hearts that our students depend on every single day. We celebrate the small victories that mean everything. A child finding their words, learning to focus, or making it through the day with a smile. When our positions are cut, those moments disappear. Please remember that behind every number on a spreadsheet is a child who needs someone by their side. We're asking you to fight for them, to keep every possible assistant and personal care assistant in place, and to stand up for the students who don't have a voice in this fight. Tell our legislators to pass the budget. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Bojack. Bajak, thank you. Okay.
Next is approval of the minutes. I need a motion and a second.
Motion, Mark?
Second, Tillman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is school board. I make a motion to acknowledge and accept the Southmoreland Area School District Board of Directors action there on October 23rd and removing its current representative to the Westmoreland Intermediate Unit, Dr. Catherine Fike, and approving Ms. Stephanie Dyer as Southmoreland's designated representative to serve on the WIU board. This is a roll call vote. I would need a motion in a second.
So moved, Bojack.
Second, Nemick.
All in favor?
Roll call.
Any discussion?
I'd request that we table this. I think there's still motions and actions being taken within the Southmoreland School District that are outside of our control. And until that's resolved, I'd like to table this until.
All in favor for table?
Well, that's a super motion, so yeah, you would have to vote on that to table it.
So, Attorney Beard then, so we have a motion on the floor and a second for what is on the agenda. Now that we have a motion to table and a second, what are we voting on right now?
I believe that you're going to be voting on the motion to table at this point in time, because the motion to table is a super motion that precedes everything else.
All right. So in this roll call, you're voting to either table or not table.
Correct, and then if it's not tabled, it goes back for a vote.
Okay.
And who was second? Who seconded the
I believe
table?
that was Mrs. Mock who seconded.
No, this is Mock.
For the table.
Oh, for the, okay.
So go ahead, Tammy, with the roll call.
Okay. Bisco?
Yes.
Yes, the table.
Mhm.
Bojalad?
No.
Dicera?
Yes.
Humberger's not here. Mock?
Yes.
Nemec,
No.
Rao,
Yes to table.
Shaw,
Yes, the table.
Cedar,
Yes, the table.
Shear,
No.
Toman,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Woolene,
No.
Yerga,
No.
Bretz.
Yes.
There's 9 yeses. 5 noes.
So Attorney Bearden, that motion is effectively now tabled until the next voting meeting.
Correct.
So can I ask who's the South Portland representative in our next meeting? Who's the seat go to?
Well, I believe Southmoreland will probably weigh in on that, and I'm gonna defer to them since they're the ones that have undertaken this action. It is my understanding that even though they took action on 10/23, to change representatives, I also understand that the action that they undertook was under the local agency law, and they're in the process of preparing an adjudication. When you prepare an adjudication, it'd be no different in your sending schools as if you had a hearing on an employee or you had a student expulsion and you do your adjudication and then you say, just wanted to let you know if you disagree with it, you have X amount of days to file. That will probably play out. We'll see where that goes. And as you know from the discussion in executive session, there's a lot of fluid issues that are occurring in Harrisburg that might require this board to have another meeting in the next several weeks before its other meeting towards the end of the month. And we'll see how this plays out in the next week or so. I don't have a better answer for that.
Can you speak up? It's really hard to hear you.
Hold on, probably me. I don't have.
Well, a lot of the yeses and nos you can't hear, and it's very difficult to hear you, sir.
All right, I'll try this way. So the tabulation was 9 to table, was it 5 or 6? 5 to proceed on the vote. I was asked by the one board member here, like, where does this place us at the end of the day and who might the representative be? For the time being, what I explained is that Southmoreland had embarked on a hearing. They did that, they took an action, they passed what I would just call an order. They're working on an adjudication that will be, and I'm guesstimating that that will be sent to an individual just like you do in any other hearing. They probably outline, here's your rights in a local agency hearing context if you want to challenge it. And the dust will probably clear in the next several weeks to see where that goes. We may also receive communications from Southmoreland as it relates to the tabling of that particular motion this evening. Good? All right. Sorry about that volume thing.
Correspondence, there's none. And next is anything from the WIU Foundation.
Just the only thing was they did the trunk or treat on October 16th at Clairview. Apparently it was very well attended, and Ms. Martha sent some wonderful pictures and information about it. So thank you for the organization of that, and did say that, you know, they hope to do that again next year.
Thank you. Financial reports, are there any motions that need pulled for discussion? I make a motion to approve FR-2526-010 through FR-2526-012. This is a voice vote. I need a motion in a second.
Second, Ralph.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next is treasurer's report.
Actually, board committee reports. Yep.
Board committee reports.
And real quickly, Mr. Leonard is in possession of all of your preferences that you've chosen, and he's in the process of determining what those committee assignments and chairpersons are going to be. So that's currently with Mr. Leonard.
All right, so next is the executive director's report.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Vice President. Just for this evening, I've attached here what we do in October as well as in April. Just gives a list of the number of programs that we have, as well as the number of students that we serve. You know, in direct service, you know, over 2,700 students of direct service. And so just wanted to share that with the board as we typically do in October. So that would conclude the executive director's report.
Thank you. Next, we're on to human resource services. Are there any motions that need pulled for discussion? If not, I need a motion to approve HR-2526-016 through HR-2526-024. This is a roll call vote.
So move Ojala.
Second, Yerga.
Fishko?
Yes.
Oh, yes?
Yep.
Sorry. Bojalid?
Yes.
Diceroth?
Yes.
Mock?
Yes.
Nemec?
Yes.
Rao?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Shear?
Yes.
Toman?
Yes.
Boyd?
Yes.
Woleen?
Yes.
Yerga?
Yes.
Bretz?
Yes.
What's the numbers, Ms. Good?
How many approved?
Yeah, what was the number? I'm sorry.
14.
14. Okay.
Next, we're on to curriculum and professional learning services. Are there any motions that need pulled for discussion?
12J, I did not get an attachment for that. So there was no attachment for 12J.
Yeah, when you go into Agenda Manager as a member of the group, you should have access to opening that document for the snapshot.
I did not see that. I opened lots of other attachments, but there was nothing. There wasn't a little envelope next to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that page was blank when I looked at it too.
Yes.
All right, we'll make sure, we'll look into that, because I know we had uploaded it, and it's a beautiful report that Sarah has done,
Okay, thank you.
so. We'll follow up on that. Did anyone have an opportunity to be able to open it?
I did.
You were able to open it? Oh, okay, so I can help you out, Mrs. Moline.
Thank you.
with that.
Earlier today, it wasn't there.
Any other discussion? If not, I make a motion to approve CPLS-2526-006 through CPLS-2526-008. This is a voice vote.
Make that motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second, Mock.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, we're on to early child services. Are there any motions that are needed to be pulled for discussion? If not, I make a motion to approve ECS-2526-012 through ECS-2526-013. This is a voice vote.
So move Ojala.
Second, Nemec.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, we're on to educational enterprise services. There's nothing tonight. Now we're on to financial services. Are there any motions that need to be pulled for discussion?
I would like to pull 16A, FF 2526008.
And Mrs. Bretz, I would like to discuss 2526.009
Okay,
and 2526.010, just so everybody has the information they need
Sure.
before they make those motion. So however you would like to proceed.
Yeah, so probably, Mrs. Walling, you wanted to discuss 008.
Yes, I was wondering why we would be paying for hotel accommodations for annual conference that's being held in Pittsburgh.
Can you guys please speak up? It's very hard to hear.
Yeah, so Tammy, did
It,
you want to?
yeah, it's just the annual PASBO conference, which is to be held. They opened the block, nobody's registering. It's all based on whether or not the budget passes or not. So we were just putting the time slot, but we can push it forward. It doesn't matter at this point. Because it could be virtual if they haven't made those decisions yet. But this is just the typical time of the year that goes on, but it could be taken off and wait till January as well.
I think we ought to, considering where we're at with the budget impasse, I don't think it's wise to be spending
Yeah.
money on conferences and whatnot, so I think we ought to just
Yeah, it's
table that,
fine. You can
reconsider
table
it
it,
after the
yep.
first of the year or when the budget passes.
Yep.
I'll second that. Second to table, I think did you make the motion?
Yes,
Table?
yes.
So motion table, Toman to second, and then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to table.
So before we vote on 25-26-009, which is the awarding of the bids for the PA system at the Clairview School that is partially covered by a grant, Dr. Conway did update today on Agenda Manager the architect's final bids. Previous to that, it was just temporary because they needed to discuss one of the bidders to determine if the bid was valid or not. Just in case no one's seen that on Agenda Manager, I handed that out this evening. If you look at the front of the letter from the architect, originally the low bidder was Horizon, but Horizon was supposed to give us a deduct number as an alternate to not put in the call-in switches that go with the PA system. And in their bid package, instead of a deduct, they added it. And so we reached out to them to determine, and they did not respond. So the architect disqualified their bid. By disqualifying that bid, the next lowest bidder is Assurance Media, which he has highlighted with on yellow and labeled recommended. So the base bid for that is $88,631.27. And if we did not get the call switches, obviously the deduct there is $2,190, but he's recommending we just move forward with the base bid, which is $88,631.27. The grant, if all of you remember, is $70,000, so the remaining would be passed on, as we discussed before. $70,000, yeah. And that work would not start then until summer. So I just wanted to make sure everybody had that information before you have the vote. And then the other item on the agenda for a vote is the $2 million revenue anticipation load. And I did send an email again home to all the board members, but let's just kind of go through that so that we have all of our questions answered at this point. The RAN is coming from First National Bank, which is the same bank that our current depository is, who honored the $5 million RAN a few months ago. They agreed to keep the interest rate the same as they did with the $5,000 RAN. It's 3.92%. They agreed to keep their bank and legal fees at the $9,000, which was the same rate from the previous RAN. Our bond counsel reduced their rates in half to $5,000 this time. Last time it was $9,000, and the tentative settlement date for this RAN would be November 5th, pending signing of all of the information and paperwork this evening. So that being said, when they disperse the RANs, they disperse all monies up front. You have until June 30th to pay it back, along with the interest. It's not a revolving line, so we can't borrow from it, pay a little bit back, and then borrow more. It's not how it works. They give it all to you. You either use it or return it. So it will be paid back by June 30th with the interest. As a comparison, in 2023, we also had a RAN for $6 million. The interest rate was a little over 4%, so a little bit higher than the bank is giving us at this point in time. The interest on the 6 million, which we had for the whole year, was 176,000. And we were able to earn interest because it's invested of 50,000, so that was netted off. So this is going to be a longer period of time that we will have the money out. So likely, probably about that $200,000 range of interest will need to be paid back to the bank.
Thank you.
So, does anybody have any other questions on the setup or arrangement of a RAN? I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of the terms in addition to the email that I had previously sent.
How long does this get us till? To
To January.
just to January?
Mhm. Yes. And we are not eligible for a third RAN. That was the end of our bargaining base.
Is there any financial disadvantage for us tabling the PA system bid approval?
You'd have to return the grant. We've already asked for 3 previous years of carryover. This is the final year for that. So we'd have to return the 70,000 back to PCCD. And by doing so, if you go back and look in some of the other correspondence that we had, we will then not meet the obligations to get further grants because we haven't finished those tier 1 to tier 2 kind of projects. So that's the
I thought there was gonna
ramification.
be
Yeah.
A time limit, if you refresh my memory.
Yes.
When is work scheduled to be started?
It would be over the summer.
Any other discussion?
Will we have to pay the balance prior to that or when the work is made?
When the work is completed.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right, so we'll need we're gonna vote here now on, it's gonna be, FS-2526-009, and then, FS-2526-010. I need a motion in a second. This is a voice vote.
So moved, Bojella.
Second law.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, we're on to student services. Are there any motions that need to be pulled for discussion? If not, I make a motion to approve S-2526-009. This is a voice vote.
Motion Yurga. Second Ralph.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. We're on to technology and innovation services. Are there any motions that need to be pulled for discussion? This will be a voice vote. If not, I make a motion to approve TIS-2526-001 through TIS-2526-002.
So moved, Bojella.
Second, Nemec.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Now on to school board. Are there any motions that need to be pulled for discussion? If not, I make a motion to approve SB-2526-008 through SB-2526-009. This is a voice vote.
So moved, Tillman.
Second law.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. There are no first readings here tonight.
Madam President, Vice President, there were no board member requested policy
Okay.
revisions, so there were none revised, so therefore, all of the first reads now go into second reads, which is our next section.
All right.
And each of these are individual motions, each
Okay.
policy.
All right, we make a motion here. This will be a voice vote to approve P-254-2526.
Motion Yurga.
Second, Tillman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, we make a motion here, I need a motion, a first and a second there to approve P-308-2526.
So,
I would like to pull, 718, service animals in school. from the list?
We're not on first reads yet. We're still on the second reads.
Okay.
So yeah, so we're still on the second reads.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, we're on to, P805,
Dot
dot
two.
2-2526. I'll need a motion, a first and a second motion.
So moved, Tobin.
Second, Willene.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, we're on to P823-2526. I'll need a first and a second motion.
So moved, Bisco.
Second, Yerga.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed.
All right, and then the next section is just information for the board in terms of what PSBA has recommended when it comes to policy revisions. And that brings us to first reads.
So now we're on board policy first readings.
So this is, again, FYI, opens up to the board if they want to make comment, things like that. So this is what I believe you wanted to discuss 718.
Yes. I would like to table that.
So Attorney Beard, what would we do in terms of that? It's a first read, so she recommended the tabling of it, so it's a first read.
So for those of you that may not have heard it, there's a policy up there identified as 718 service animals in the schools. There was a motion to table that item. There hasn't, I don't think there's been a second on that at this point.
Yeah, this is just first read, so there hasn't been a motion or a second read. This is
And so at the end of the day, I would say if there's some broad-based reason to table it, or is there a tweak that's needed so that it can give consideration to everybody else here as to what the issue might be, and go from there. I mean, I just want everybody to be aware that if there was a service animal to be brought in, irrespective of whether you have this policy in place, you would have to make that accommodation based within the parameters of the ADA and section 504 irregardless. So I'll leave it to you and the rest of the board to sort that out relative to the motion to table.
So, well, I just wanted to make changes to it, but I thought that was gonna happen on the next month, so. And that I had to, I wasn't gonna bring it up tonight, but I'm for tabling it if we wanna work on that one some more,
Well, if we follow the policy or the procedures that we have, any revisions that would be requested would be submitted in writing, and then every single one of those revisions would be voted upon at the next meeting, not as a second read, just as a follow-up first read. So any revisions that you would want, everybody would have an opportunity to weigh in. You just have to submit those within 5 days of the next board meeting, and it's attached, the procedure is attached to the first read, so everyone can see what to do with that.
Director Willene, what's your objection to it?
I think we need to refine that service, like the service animals that, are included.
So do you just want to work with and make some comments that we can vote on for the next one?
I would like to work with Dan.
I think it's a good idea, and that way we can have a look at it for the next meeting.
Yeah,
Alright,
I
perfect.
think that makes sense. So follow the procedure.
Yeah.
I believe some of the revisions are recommended and some revisions are mandated recommendations too. So you have to read the outline,
Correct.
what is coming from PSBA. Because if it's a recommended, then of course we can make variations, but if it is a legal, we have to follow it. Correct?
Correct. those who can't hear, I mean.
I'm sorry, I haven't figured out, I should have spoken louder.
I'm gonna pass it down, it's okay. Maybe we can get one for the next month.
Yes, sorry, I was just saying that there are some recommendations that are suggested recommendations from PSBA, but then there are mandate recommendations for policies too. So service animal, I believe, that there are 2 service animals that are allowed, and that is what is legally allowed, so I'm not sure that there's much variance in that policy. But we can certainly discuss at the next meeting.
Yeah, Stephen Bundy is working on that, so
Perfect.
we are. All right, so any other comments, questions about first reads? All right, so I believe we can go on to board administrative regulations, which there are none tonight, for the board to review. So that would take us to comments by citizens.
And there are no.
Yeah, and no one had submitted a card for comments from citizens for the second part. I haven't received any. All right, so I believe you can move on.
So we're now on comments by any of the board directors.
Yes, I had a comment that was brought to my attention by my business manager and superintendent about comments made in the paper, Tribune Review in Pittsburgh about school districts not paying, oh, sorry. Okay, I'll start again, sorry. I just had, my, school board superintendent and business manager, brought to my attention that there was comments made in the, Tribune Review in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette about, school districts not paying what is owed to the IU. And, we have in Derry area got an invoice saying we were 90 days late for a payment when we only got the invoice was dated, we got the invoice on 6, it said we were supposed to get the invoice on 6/30, but we only got it on, where is it? 10/7/2005. And then we promptly paid what we owed the IU, so we were not 90 days late. And the only reason that I was a little bit late was because there were some billing questions on it, there were some discrepancies. And I know a lot of my school board members are really upset that we were called out that we didn't pay our bills when Derry area pays its bills, and we would like an apology from the IU.
Tammy, did you want to speak to the invoices at all? I mean, the comments in the paper, was at the time, there were outstanding invoices, not just from school districts within the county, but also outside of the county. And none of those comments were any school districts specifically identified. It was a collective, there's still money owed, but we're not pressuring school districts to pay that. And I made that very clear to any reporter that I spoke to say, listen, we're all in this together, and school districts need to start looking at preparing for potential suspensions of programs and things like that. So we weren't pressuring school districts. It's just the fact that some school districts across this Commonwealth are struggling to pay bills because they're preparing for what could be an elongated budget impasse. So none of those comments at all were meant ill will at all. It's just the fact of the matter that some school districts haven't paid intermediate units for services that have been provided. And, Tammy, I don't know, as our financial services director, if you want to speak to that at all.
Yes, I just want to clarify that there was no late notices sent to Derry. And Scott and I have been working back and forth for months to work through those invoices. And actually, after the last board informational session, when we discussed the cash flow, Mr. Shaw took that information back to his board, and I congratulate you for doing so. And Scott Chappell texted me and asked me what was still outstanding, in which I did. I was home that day, so I took a screenshot of the last AR and sent it to him so he knew the invoices, but there was no request for any sort of delinquency. But I will say that this wasn't recent. So on September 4th, when we were talking about the first RAN and the approval of that for $5 million, I sent a board correspondence to the Finance Committee and the board president to indicate where we were cash flow wise and what was still outstanding by districts. And at that point, there was $651,000 owed to the IU from the districts that we serve, not just the 17 that are in our county. Out of that $651,000, $568,000 of it was more than 60 days old. It had nothing to do with the K-5 billing that wasn't even finalized until September 19th, or the reconciliation of Clairview that wasn't sent out to the districts until September 22nd. At that point, at our information session, at that point, that $651,000 was over $898,000. So when we met with all of you and discussed all of that, some of you went back to your boards and some of your folks contacted us, hey, we don't have this invoice, or we must have misplaced this. And so a lot of that has been reconciled, but there are still a number of districts that owe us money inside and outside of the county. So we're still hovering at that 500,000, and about 250 to 300 is from districts that are within. But I have sent numerous emails out to our in the county to business managers with the invoice numbers to say, hey, if you can send this in, or if you have questions, please let me know. And every one of them has responded timely. So we've never sent out any sort of invoice to anyone saying you owe us additional money.
Nor charged any late fees.
Charged any late fees or anything like that.
Well,
so I just wanted to clarify that.
We
as
just
well.
have my superintendent and business manager sent me invoice aging.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry again. My business manager and superintendent sent me in an email an invoice aging report that showed us 90 days late on a payment dated 6/30/2025, when Derry School District didn't get the invoice until received it the week of 9/15/2025. So
We're more than happy to
That's-
meet with the superintendent and business manager to work out.
Yeah.
We received that email today and have not had an opportunity to follow up and schedule a meeting, but we're more than happy to sit down and work through what their concerns are.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? If not, I make a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
I didn't get that.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Mark and me.
Appreciate it.
Mock and Neiman.